We get no intro.
No countdown this morning. Just
Oh,
Countdown. Here we go. Friday morning. I'm still driving, but here we are. I'm getting ready to pull into the parking lot, running late, but it's Freestyle Friday. We don't know what's going to happen. It's EJ here with Jenny and Shayna.
morning,
woo! Good morning.
And
Friday.
I'm parked.
Well, you had a good reason for being late. It was really cool, actually.
Yeah. So I got off my exit here at the office, and there was a bunch of fire trucks running down the road and firefighters running down the road and full yellow road gear and carrying the flag. I don't know what they're doing, but you got to give that honor to them. Uh, they working hard for us. So here we are,
Here we are.
here with here with my friends. You guys are my friends, right?
Jenny, you keep on muting yourself. I am your friend, AJ, and I've missed you. I haven't got to see and talk to you very much lately.
I know. I've talked to your son for a long time yesterday.
I know. I heard all about that.
Good morning, Jeremy. Got you six appliance repair. Rob Jones. Well, we got Texas in the house. Adam Swaggle from
Good
the north.
morning.
He's probably in a foot of snow.
Ugh.
Joe, what's going on? Still dark over here. Yeah, it's daylight here. Where you at, Joe?
It's daylight here, too.
I thought he's on the East Coast.
I don't think so.
Anyway, I'm going to turn it over to you guys to chat for a minute while I go into the office and get
Let's
comfortable.
do that. Okay.
He trusts us.
Sort of.
What could we get into, Shayna?
I don't know. I like having all
Ooh.
my friends on here, and no, there's no snow today. So where are you out of, Adam? Said northern. Oh, Joe, I'm like New Mexico. What?
Apparently,
Wrong.
in Maryland, my friends are having some snow. Apparently, there were some snowflakes yesterday in Maryland.
Well, I'm in Illinois. We haven't had snow where I'm at, but Chicago area and all that has had a lot of snow, which is why I'm not there, which is why I want to continue to head south because it's still
Mhm.
too cold. I'm going to scoot up because I have a bar. He left me with a bar in front of my face. There you are. Sit on my feet.
No, why don't you light it up with your eyes so it looks like those pictures where they like blank out somebody's eyes so you can't tell who they are? There you go. That looks really great.
30 minutes south of Green Bay on Lake Michigan. And I would share
Okay.
that, Adam, but EJ likes to have control over everything, so we can't. Jenny and
I
I do
don't
not
actually.
get control over that.
I don't actually like it. I just I have to. So,
Because otherwise the girls might go crazy.
We could. We
uh,
don't. We,
We're pretty big partiers.
they used to have videos about that 20 years ago. Girls Gone Wild.
oh.
That's not what you were talking about, though.
No.
All right, let's clean it up. Clean it up. Freestyle Friday. Shayna, will you do
Yes.
the prayer?
Sure. Dear God, thank you for once again another Friday, this glorious, glorious day that you have given us with breath in our lungs and the ability to be able to be alive. And I give you the praise and the glory for that. Help us to have a great last day of our workday. For those of us, this is it. Help us to have a great holiday season since a lot of us are already celebrating with Christmas parties and holiday parties. And I give you the praise and the glory that all of this is because of you. And for that, I give you thanks. Amen.
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 I got Christmas on the mind. I had a Christmas
I
party
like it.
last night, Christmas party tomorrow night, 2 Christmas parties tomorrow, a Christmas party tonight, 2 tomorrow. So,
Yeah, we have a fun weekend coming up too. But I was so excited that this past Sunday, our whole team was able to come together for our very first company Christmas dinner. And I don't know about you guys, but there are a lot of people like just in it right now, struggling through some things. And our team has been struggling through some things. So it was really fun that we could all come together and just have like a lighthearted evening and celebrate instead of having all the things going on. So hopefully, especially if people are having some difficulties, take that time to just really focus on
yep,
the birth of our Lord and just
Amen.
have fun.
yep. That's tonight is our company party. So,
That's awesome. So I have a scripture verse today. I hear that the theme of the week is education. So I found some verses in Proverbs that have to do with receiving education and humility that goes along with that you need to have in order to receive it the right way. So Proverbs 16 verse 14 says, he who receives instruction shall be in good things, and he who heeds rebukes shall become wise. And then just a couple of verses later, it says, arrogance goes before destruction and folly before a fall. So to me, those kind of go hand in hand. In order to be open to learning and taking in what you're really learning, you have to first become humble and ready to receive it and not prideful and saying that you know everything and you don't need to hear what anybody else has to say. So kind of it kind of precedes being able to receive advice and instruction, in my opinion. So do you guys have any thoughts about that?
Absolutely.
well, I
Hey,
mean, if you're too full of yourself, um, was having a conversation with someone the other day, and it was someone young, and they said, I don't really have any true growth plans. I don't have any true goals because I feel like I'm in a good place. And I'm
I'm
sitting
good.
thinking, at your age, like what? Like, no, like don't ever think that you're in a good place, even at your age. Like, continue to want more. And so
Yeah.
that's really stuck with me. I'm like, if I only had this knowledge, or even where this kid is at his age, like, I, where would I be at my age if I just continued going?
Well, I just think about like the past 2 years, just like looking at just the past 2 years, how much we've learned and grown because we opened a business together as a married couple. And if that's not humbling, I don't know what is, but
absolutely.
it's hard and it kind of knocks you down a notch if you think you do know things. Like opening a business will set you straight, but it has been just such a season of learning from other people and taking advice and then trying things out. And in the pre-roll, EJ and I were talking about, yeah, it's good to be open to advice and take advice and listen to all the things, but you do have to pick the right people to learn from. So you have to be strategic that way. Pick people that are doing the right thing and being ethical in their business practices and the way they're living their life, and then try to model yourself after people, which is kind of you choose who you surround yourself with. And we have the best circle of people, just even in our Wednesday morning book clubs and in our masterminds and peer groups. Like we really have some awesome people that we've surrounded ourselves with. And
We
I have
have.
a really good accountability partner.
And this is possibly one of the books that we may be reading starting the first of the year.
Yeah. It looks like
hoping
it's the
it
front runner right now.
And it says that business is made simple. So I think all of us who think business is difficult
And
use this book.
I already
Uh-oh.
have it.
Oh, you do? I have it too.
Mine was sitting back here on the shelf behind me. So
I think
That's awesome.
I think mine might have came from the shelf behind you as well, maybe.
it might have. I should have put my
When I
name in all
came
those
over,
books you took.
yeah, you should have signed it. Like you're kind of
Like
famous
as
now.
if she wrote it.
No.
I really wrote this book, Shayna
If anybody
Shadowin.
wants some free books, just head over to our shop. You're welcome to come anytime. EJ's supposed to come sometime again before the end of the year. I don't think he's going to make it though.
Probably not before the end of the year.
I do have a part to my dishwasher that will be
Beginning.
coming in the mail next week if you want to show up at that
Mm.
time and put that part in for me.
Well, that would be convenient, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't it?
Then I could actually charge you travel charges, and you. I don't know if I want to be paid in books. Uh,
I mean,
Good morning, Fred.
it's kind of a good way to be paid.
Yeah, it is.
I'll
It's
take
a
books.
gift that keeps on
And
giving.
they're not used books. It's just that somehow I've ended up with tons of duplicates of books. So
Well, I don't know if you guys know who Ed Milet is, but I really think he's
I've heard the name.
fabulous. I really love his podcast. It's a little long for my taste, but usually he has some really worthwhile people to listen to. But he wrote a book called The Power of One More, and it's just about like when you're feeling stuck, like just push through and try one more phone call, do one more day, all of those kind of things. And he was doing a thing where if you bought like 10 of his books, then he donated all the money to Feeding America, I think, kind of like Tony Robbins does. And so I ended up with 10 copies of that book and then just gave it to people as like bonuses or rewards or something like that. And I think that's kind of a fun thing to do. If you really think it's a great book, then sharing it with somebody else is a good way.
Yeah.
I thought it was great that I got it for free.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll give away some books at ASTI.
That would be cool.
I like it. That's a good drawing, like a good raffle.
Like maybe participation awards. This life that we're in now, the society, everybody wants to be rewarded for showing up.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not expected anymore. So I was really thinking about this topic before we all got on the phone this morning, and it really was. I think I don't believe in coincidences so much. I learned that coincidences are God's way of remaining anonymous. So I love that Jenny came on and found that verse, and before I could say, I was thinking of, we just had this conference last weekend. If you didn't hear about it, I don't know where you've been, but it went really well. There was a lot of knowledge shared in all directions. Speaking of humility, when I was a kid, well, we got 5-star Mike coming in.
It's my friend.
Hi, Mike.
He does exist. He is real. He is real, he says. I knew everything when I was a teenager, all the way up until I was about 35. And
wait, I thought you were 35.
Thank you. I'm 40. But it wasn't until I was humbled by some life experiences and I started receiving uh, advice and wisdom from other people, right? I used to say, yeah, I know it. It was like I was proving that I knew something. Like I had to
Hmm.
prove that I was worthy or that I was on a certain level. Because I was in maintenance as a young guy, and it's an old guy's game. Uh, 40s would be like the youngest people, and then here I am, 24 or something. Like I got to prove that I belong. Uh, but when we went to this conference that us at the Service Alliance led, I got really nervous. Like I'm not worthy of doing this, and I came up with this uh, saying that I've been using. I'm an expert in my own experience,
Hmm.
and it gave me some comfort to know that that's all I had to do. All I had to do is share my story and my experience, and somebody may learn from it. And in that experience of doing this, I learned so much from the people that came and the other guys that presented, and a lot of the networking that happened before, during, and after. Uh, because, like you were saying at the beginning, Jenny, some of us are going through some stuff.
Hmm.
And if you've been watching any time in the last few months, you know I'm going through some stuff. And receiving the guidance and knowledge from people that are around you that care
Hmm.
is big. So to have the humility to receive it is big, right? Um, and then what are you going to do with it?
Yeah, some of my mentors that I learned from have a couple of sayings similar to that. One is that your mess can become a message, and that
Amen.
when you're walking through something really hard, if you're not learning from it, then you're wasting the experience, and God's going to give you some more chances to learn like that. And if you want to not get more chances to learn like that, you better try to learn it the first time. So that's one thing. And then the other thing, as far as being nervous and teaching, and you're spot on, EJ, because you're the best teacher of something that you're about 2 steps ahead of somebody on. So if you're learning from somebody, you can learn a lot of wisdom from people that have been in business for 20, 30, 40 years, but you're not going to learn the practical things about how to survive the startup period of your business. You're going to learn that from people that just
Supper.
went through starting up their business and going through all the stuff, like how to hire somebody right now, because it's very different hiring somebody right now than it was 30, 40 years ago. So the struggles that you're going through as a new business owner, if you're not turning around and helping the next person up that mountain, then you're doing it wrong. So I think that's spot on,
See ya.
EJ, and you're more qualified to help new business owners that are just starting out than somebody that's been around 30, 40 years doing it. That's my
Yep,
opinion.
Yeah,
good
I
opinion.
appreciate that.
Yeah. So I'm excited. I didn't get to go there because we were in New Jersey at a wedding, but I am hoping that we can be at the next one because I believe in what you guys are doing. It's really cool.
Well, I appreciate it. And you know, everybody was invited over the last couple months except for
Not
Jeremy.
except for Jeremy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
You
understand.
Ask yourself
that
why, Jeremy.
that
Why?
Jeremy.
Start with
He's a
why.
pot stirrer. Wait, yeah, did you share his comment? I didn't see if you
He
shared.
did.
Okay.
Yeah, you were
I did
talking.
while you were talking.
Okay.
He says, "Wait, there was a conference last weekend. Why wasn't I invited?" Uh, he must never watch the show.
You must
Uh,
not.
so, Shayna,
He
what's
said
going on?
you want to put his next comment on.
That's
You
funny.
started it, brother.
Thankfully, Jeremy knows that we love him.
Good morning,
I
Saul.
hope so.
Morning, so what's going on with me?
Yeah.
And I know you both know a lot of what I've even been going through, just the struggles of just everyday life, everyday craziness between home and running a business. It doesn't matter if you have one team member or if you have 20 team members or 50 team members. Like there's chaos. Unless you're working by yourself, and even that can be chaos, but at least you don't have to deal with other people. There's chaos, and you allow yourself to be open and listen to God. And I'm believing it's a God thing, bringing in an 11-year-old foster girl who adds additional chaos to your life. And it doesn't matter if you're feeling like you're focused, like an 11-year-old foster girl can just throw your life into craziness and then add that to everything else in your life. And so, yeah, like e- education, but also surrounding yourself like that in itself, like you guys were talking about, being humble enough to admit that there are situations in your life that you can't handle by yourself. You will never be able to learn or grow if you can't admit that and be open and vulnerable to people that are really truly there for good reasons in your life.
Mhm.
Um, and that's sort of where I'm at. Like I feel like I'm 5 months of having her almost. I'm starting to get a grasp back on my home life, and then home life affects everything here too. It just affects my mind in general. So,
So, what kind of things have you learned from this 11-year-old?
oh, um, I mean, it's something I've known, but it's hard because I came up in a really good home. We didn't have a lot of money, but my parents made sure I had everything. Definitely, really, truly does open your eyes to the life that other people live. I mean, she's 11. She's been in the system for 4.5 years. We are her 15th home in 4.5 years. Like she's talked about homes that she's been in for less than 24 hours, just in and out. Group homes, mental hospitals, um, the points of her life that she has given up hope. Like she said, I used to be a good kid. And about my third home, I realized nobody's ever going to love me. And that's when I changed my life and I changed my tune. And that's when I started not caring about anybody else.
Mm.
Um, and so it's been definitely eye opening. Like and being able to spoil her, and then like one minute she's like, oh my gosh, I just love this, and then the next minute she's just back. This week has not been a good week because we went for about 3 weeks having good weeks, but good days, but this week has been a very rough week for us. So temper tantrums, and I had a meltdown. That's our first meltdown in weeks, and so I've learned the difference. Like there's temper tantrums, there's meltdowns, there's what I'm calling the white room. Now I'm learning that there's another space that she takes her mind off to that gets her out of the reality. Like I didn't even know all this existed.
That's real.
Um, I even told her this week, I'm like, if you were my kid, I would have busted your butt and sent you to your room. Like, I can't bust your butt.
It's
So
not
yeah.
legal anymore, apparently.
Oh, I told that actually to her caseworker. I said my kids would have gotten beat, but here it sets my 20-year-old, not 30-year-old, my 20-year-old 3 feet away from me at this moment with a smile on his face, and he's like, "Yep, I would have got my butt beat for sure."
It's
Uh,
interesting because you're challenged to parent in a different way with a person who has had really
yeah.
negative experiences, and
Yeah.
it's really challenging because
It is.
but
And you
you
can't
know like
it really shows the difference on how people learn too. Like, Austin didn't do very well at yelling at. He was really good at sitting in the corner for timeout. Isaiah, you just threatened him with a spanking and he was like, "Oh, I'm good. Like, I didn't do it. It wasn't me. I promise it was him."
He
Um,
must have saw
Victoria
Austin
though,
get it enough.
Victoria though, if you raise your voice in the slightest manner, it just elevates. And you see that with people that work with you. If you don't You can see the people that have had rough lives, and if you do not address them in what we would call the S, like that sensitive, caring, we're here for you every single time. If you, in the slightest bit, say, why did you do it that way? It really, truly does elevate. And it really has actually opened our eyes up even more as to even more so dealing with people and how their backgrounds can affect how they take instructions from us as their leaders.
Check this out. Let's start
What is
back at Jeremy. You know, he's a foster parent too. So when we became foster parents, my parents were against it, saying I would get hurt. And he said, if I do it right, I will get hurt, but they'll know they're loved.
Yep,
Like, how about that? That don't
yep,
want you. That don't
Because
make
it
you want
breaks
to
your
turn the
heart
water
to
on.
love people,
yeah,
you know. But
Yeah.
we noticed, I think for us parenting, we noticed that natural consequence parenting was probably the most effective thing. So, like, a really simple example is remember to bring your homework to school. And then they forget to bring their homework to school, and we do not bring their homework to school for them. And they have to have the consequence of not turning in their homework and being embarrassed that they forgot it. So that's just like a little simple thing, but that applies in how we treat each other. And, uh, if you have to solve your own problem, then you
yeah.
learn more and you remember it more than if somebody solves it for you.
And that, yeah, I mean, that goes for technicians, that goes for CSRs. It's
Yeah.
about giving them guidance and direction, um, and just hope that they're humble enough to take it. Because even I've seen a lot of technicians that think that they know it all, and those are typically the worst, the worst ones.
It's funny too, with our apprentice Will, he was absolutely he had knew nothing about appliance repair when he came to us, and we hired him because of his ethics and his personality and just the type of person he is. And we were willing to train him. So Joe and he signed up for this class that's being offered at the community college, and it's a 3-week appliance repair class. So Joe signed up because he was curious about what they were going to be teaching in the class. And, we, of course, signed Will up just because any exposure to appliance repair is a good thing for him right now. And the really exciting thing is that he knows more than some of the people in the class right now. So he gets to feel that boost of confidence that he knows something. So it's kind of fun. It's been fun for
We're
Joe the past 2 days that they've been there this week.
we're 5 hours from Little Rock, and in Little Rock there is a training center that does electrical, heating, cooling, and I think they've got plumbing now too. And every time we ever sent a technician down there, Jason also went. And Jason loved going because almost every time he went, or every time he went, he did learn new things. And
Well, that's
so,
what I was going to say. Yeah. I mean, you would think Joe, he could teach the class. Like he's been
yeah,
doing this for 35 years, but he still learns something. The first day he learned something, and last night he learned something. And it was just like this he told me there was something about a dryer, that there was a part that he didn't realize actually did something at the beginning of a cycle. And it's a guy from Whirlpool that's teaching the class. And so he's like, I learned a nugget, I took something away. So that speaks to that humility. He's been doing this a long enough time that he could be rightfully a little arrogant maybe and say that he knows something or he knows a little more than somebody, but he went in there with the spirit of learning something, and he did. So if you're open to it, it's almost, I feel like that's something that Ed Milet talks about. I think he calls it your reticular activating system in your brain. If you're looking for something, you're going to see it. If you know about something, you're going to start being open to it, and you're going to see it all the time. Like if you're looking to buy a Toyota RAV4, you're going to see that vehicle on the road everywhere. But if you
mhm.
just weren't looking for it, you're never going to see it. You just drive right by it. You don't see that. So if you're looking for opportunities to learn and grow, you're going to find them more than if you're just thinking that you know everything.
And here's one right here.
So I see
Every
that you
every
must be a
every
fan of
Wednesday
that one
morning. Every
for
Wednesday morning.
sure. Yeah, if you're not in there, like, I don't even know what's wrong with you. It is the best little group of people.
I don't know what's
And
wrong with you.
I
it's
don't know.
early.
We want to find out.
It's early for those of us not on the East Coast.
That is
So,
true.
but
It's early for
we
me, and I'm on the East Coast.
I think
Well,
about
I'm
half of
in
us
Eastern
are
time zone.
Central. We don't have anybody in West or Pacific.
Well, there's
Yeah.
a book called The
They'd have
5
to
a.m. Club.
really want
You have to really want it for us too. 5:45 in the morning is quite early, EJ.
It is. Well, have you read that book, The 5 a.m. Club?
Yes.
I'm
So
allergic to it.
if you are on the West Coast, you could just call it your 5 a.m. club.
Yeah. There you go.
There you go. Well, guys, I'm having fun, but I got work to do.
Well, you can leave. Jenny and I will just stay.
Okay. You just let me know when you're done.
Okay.
I'm kidding, because then you guys can't end it.
I
Uh,
know we can't. We'll
but
be stuck here forever.
thank you guys.
Oh, Jeremy.
Oh, you got called out.
I received that. I'm not going to do anything with it, but I receive it. There we are, putting it in practice. Uh, let's give a couple shout outs. Uh,
To Shayna. Oh,
Shayna,
yeah. See?
my office
Nice.
help. Uh, Go ahead. Tell us what you
If you're
do.
in the area, go ahead and come tonight for our Christmas party. See? Look at that, EJ. You can come tonight and stay until my part gets here and replace my part in my dishwasher.
Yeah,
Anyways,
there we
if you
go.
need help with your phones, I'm your girl. So my team is all in here, 100% in house, and we'd be happy to help you out scheduling and dispatching, and or just taking messages if that's all you want. We're here.
Or if you want to wake up at 5 a.m. and uh, read books. Uh, and Jenny Seeley, Outcome Academy.
Yep.
Tell us about it. Talk
So
to us.
we are working to roll out a couple classes in the new year. The first one, we are doing our very first live workshop here in New Bern. So I know that doesn't apply to most people that are listening here right now, but we're going to put it into an online format too. But it's about professional and business goal setting. So our seminar on January 13th is going to be an all-day deep dive into setting your goals for the new year in your business. But we do have some free resources. If you go to if you go actually to jennyseeley.com, we have a free download that will help you get introduced to AI. We also have a free PDF download that helps you set up your business to look professional online. So those are a couple of free tools that you can download.
Thank you. And of course,
Absolutely.
if you don't know, now you know. ServiceAllianceGroup.com. We want to help you elevate your business as we elevate the industry. So let us know if we can help you in any way. And it's Freestyle Friday. Go out there and do something.
Crush it.
Crush it. Let's get it. Shout out to Miss
Do
Ward.
something. Go out there and crush it.
Do something. Yep.
Do something good.